welcome into in-game chat for excuse me, I'm adjusting my headphone volume here. For Saturday, February the 7th, right? Yeah, exactly, 2026. Season 20, Episode 4. I'm Scott.
And I'm RJ.
And we'd like to welcome you into the show here. There you go. Hey, if you want to get in touch with us, Discord's about the only way you can do it. If you want to do that at all, Discord, we got that. You can also go to ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can find us on Twitter at InGameChat. You can also find us on Facebook there. You can also email us, everyone, at ingamechat.net. We are streaming right now on Twitch. Go over to twitch.tv. Search for In-Game Chat, or just go to our website. It's the easiest thing to do is just go to our website, ingamechat.net. Not the letter N, but the word I-N, ingamechat.net. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. You'll see a link. I almost said a lich to twink. A link to Twitch is what I meant to say.
Sound like that sounds like some D&D type level stuff there.
I mean,
lich.
I removed my robe and wizard hat. So yeah, go there, click on that link. You'll be able to watch us for whatever godforsaken reason you'd want to do that. You can watch us live while we broadcast.
Space is built for radio, right?
I mean, that's the reason I got into it, man. My voice looked better than my face. So, welcome to the show, everybody. Glad to have you here. Want to thank Dave for listening. Yes, Dave, the new app will work on a phone that... It should, I don't actually know. I don't have a phone that old. He's got an iPhone 7.
Does it still work?
I mean, his phone still works, but I don't know if the new app...
We can keep it, have at it.
We have a new app, and I don't know if the new app would work on an iPhone 7. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure. When I say we, I mean the station. I don't mean In-Game Chat does not have an app. Nate was going to build us one, by the way. Mm-hmm. He was going to build us one, and I think he started on building us one. I don't think he ever got finished with it, maybe, but he was actually going to build us an app. Yeah, just an easy way to listen to the station, I guess, and past episodes and stuff. But yeah. So anyway, welcome into the show, everybody. We should start with what we've been playing, and as always, I throw that over to RJ to tell me what you've been playing, buddy.
Well, outside of the big three of GTA Online, MLB The Show 25, and Virtua Fighter 5 Revo, I was basically doing a lot of file maintenance. I got myself one of those Seagate 8 terabit external drives for the PS5. Found one in white, so to match the color of the console itself. So I thought that was kind of nice, but. I was moving files over, and I found that I couldn't play games off of the drive itself like I could on the PS4. Yeah. So it's going to be a constant thing of moving it back and forth, and really I don't mind because, the only thing only has 1 terabit of hard drive space. So
yeah, Dave says it works on the iPhone.
Good job, Dave.
He says, "Oh yeah, man, 8 years strong with this old phone."
Old phone that still works. Hey, if it still works, folks, keep using it. I don't need to break up and go to the. You have to go to the higher models, but anyway, like I was saying, having to move files back and forth, I don't mind because I was doing it on the PS4. Regardless, that was just more convenient to be able to play my games off of the hard drive, off of the external drive itself, like I used to. But the games itself, I got a lot of games that I picked up, like the ones I talked about from the buy two get one free from GameStop sale. Right. So it's going to be a lot of transferring files because I still have yet to install those games, but when I do. I'm going to plan to install those directly to the external drive because it might be a while before I start playing anything else like that. But other than moving files, I did start playing First Descendant again. Okay. Turns out I've been missing a whole lot of stuff from doing the daily logins. So all I have to do really to pick up all the stuff that I've been missing out on is just log in, stay on for about an hour. I mean, I don't even have to play. I could just stand at the mailbox for an hour and get all the benefits that I could from the daily logins and get that towards stuff that I need, get towards weekly login bonuses, all that good stuff. So I just have to get back into playing that. That and the fact that there's a new storyline out. There's a new descendant in the game named Daya. And if you ever followed the lore of the game, it was pretty much a foregone conclusion that she was going to be a new descendant in the future. Basically, she's the daughter of one of the first descendants you get, Glay. They were captured by the enemy, and one escaped, and the other was held and experimented on. And then she's a big part of the story of the second season that I played through.
Yeah.
She was a big part of that, and you defeated her, and she was held at your base. So, looking at that, you pretty much realized she was going to be a new descendant later on, and apparently with the new season 3 coming out, she's available now. So that's pretty much what I've been playing this week.
Yeah, I wish I had something to tell you that's any different than anything I've been playing the weeks prior, but I have nothing to disclose, really. Marvel Snap and Proverbs is really just what I'm throwing in there. I've gotten a lot of games because, the games will show up for free on Steam. Like, hey, this is a limited time, you got a free game, whatever.
Yeah, I just picked up the free games on PS Plus for February now.
Right,
So that's more stuff I got to move around on the files. And
I'll fill up the backlog with stuff I just am not going to play. But, yeah, it's not really been a... nothing's grabbing me, game-wise.
Yeah, a lot of stuff comes out, but not a lot gets your attention.
I'm not really... Spider-Man is something that I just kind of, week to week, kind of put some time into. Mm-hmm. But I really haven't come across anything that not necessarily holds my attention, but really excites me. I've got and this is the issue here, is that I'm talking about recently released games. I got a backlog of stuff that would probably keep me entertained.
Yeah,
if I were to play it.
Same here.
Yeah, I did play for half a minute, and it was longer than that, but it was very short. Short amount of playtime with something. It was a game called Pizza Tower. Mm-hmm. It's one I picked up on sale during the Christmas holidays and stuff, and it's one you. Well, I don't know if you might like it or not. What's
the genre of it? Because I think I asked if it was like Cookie Clicker, and you said it wasn't like that at all. But
right, it's not Cookie Clicker, and I hadn't played it at the time you asked to really tell you what it was. And and the time that I put into it now is not that great either. Mm-hmm. It seems to be a very linear type game. You're given levels, and you it's a momentum type game. Mm-hmm. Keep your speed going, keep your momentum going. They'll put obstacles in front of you, which you will need to either duck under, jump over, a bunch of different things that come in your way.
Okay, it sounds like the side scroll, like I have to run, or
you do run a lot. Yes,
yeah.
There is the most specific one that I can give you, where a little bit of skill is involved, is you can do a hyper dash thing where your guy's going really fast. Mm-hmm. But you only have, so in other words, I'm trying to figure out how I can explain this. If you go at a certain speed, you can break through certain objects. So the way they have it is, on the way they exemplified this, was sort of, think of it like a Donkey Kong level where, you go back and you go left to right, left to right, left to right. You drop down, go to... Think of Donkey Kong from the top to the bottom, not from the bottom to the top like you play it, right?
Yeah, because I'm thinking of Donkey Kong in the arcade right now, yeah.
Right. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Reverse that. Think about Mario trying to get to the bottom of it as fast as he can, but having to go down the things like that. But there's barriers in the way. Mm-hmm. So in order to keep your momentum, you sort of have to, before you fall off the first ledge, you have to reverse direction, so that you maintain that momentum as you fall from that ledge, so that you can break through the barrier that's at the beginning of the next ledge. Mm-hmm. The barrier is not at the end of it. You know what I'm saying? It is right there as you drop off, and you have to have that momentum to break through it. Mm-hmm. So there's some skill involved with trying to maintain that, plus doing jumps and anything else that you need to do. I only seriously played one level, and that was it. I was yawning. I was tired. I only played one level. Mm-hmm. Is it something I'll go back to? Absolutely. I was playing it on the Steam Deck, so it's absolutely something I probably would go back to. Controller, by the way, I must play on that. Mm. If you have a controller, you really should be playing with that. This is a game that's been out for quite a few years already.
Yeah, I mean...
So anything I'm saying to anybody is probably like, yeah, I played it.
There's some titles like that where...
Old man getting to your games so late.
Yeah, there are titles like that for whatever reason, because we're in the video game market and things like that, some will just pop up to us years later. It'll just be some random thing that pops up on YouTube or social media or whatever else. It'll be an old game, but it's something that just piques your interest. And there are plenty of games like that where it's something that you just see for the first time, but it's like 2-3 years old.
Well, I had it on my wish list for a while because it had really good reviews. It was, overwhelmingly positive, and I was just like, oh, that's kind of cool. But it didn't look like anything. And when I say look, I mean like the graphics give a. I
think I've said plenty of times before that the game doesn't have to look good to be entertaining.
Absolutely, so, No. Game doesn't have to do that. But this evokes the animation of Toe Jam and Earl. Remember Toe Jam and Earl?
Yeah.
Now, the gameplay graphics and everything like that do not. It's the animation style, the look of it really reflects the animation of Toe Jam and Earl. I want to talk about like the gameplay, the actual gaming of Toe Jam and Earl. I'm talking about the artwork of it. Sort of, I'm not exactly sure how to explain it. Very erratic, sort of lines and hyper in a sense, which I guess is the case because it's very much a momentum game. So, yeah, I played that and yeah, Marvel Snap. That's it. Really, that's all. That's all. That's all I've been doing. What happens in Marvel Snap is I'll find a really good deck, a nice synergy deck to play, and I'll just run that I'll run that into the ground for myself. It's like, ooh, this is good. I like this.
So you got a baseline that you start with and just go from there?
Kind of when a new card releases or somebody finds a synergy between some old cards and some new cards that can really work together to kind of dominate, I'll absolutely jump on that if I've got the cards, jump on that bandwagon and run with it. And it's kind of like what I've been doing this week with Snap, but really not much as far as what I've been playing and that sort of stuff. Not a whole lot.
Speaking of cards, I got to get back into Balatro.
Yeah,
I still want to unlock some of the decks in there.
Yeah, I haven't played Balatro in a while.
But you have more decks unlocked than I do. I think you had like 6 or 7 decks unlocked.
I got a few of them unlocked. Yeah. But yeah, that's really it for me. If I'm thinking right, and I'm trying to think, am I thinking right? I think so. I want to say I fired up Xbox Game Pass again, but I can't remember. Oh, I remember. Star Wars Jedi Survivor was on sale on Steam. Had a historical low of like $8.
Oh, okay.
But it's an EA game, right? So I thought, well, let me see if it's on Game Pass first before I decide. Even $8, I'm like, let me see if I can get it free. I say free. I mean, is it included in my subscription? I don't want to necessarily tell you that I'm getting it for free. Yeah. But it's like, let me see if that's in my Game Pass. And sure enough, it's in my Game Pass. And I just thought, okay. Don't need to worry about those $8 that I want to spend on Steam to have that game. Yeah, so it was just a good reminder that you have a game available. Well, anytime an EA game pops up, man, it's just like, let's make sure it's not already on Game Pass.
Right.
Because you're already paying for that, so why don't you play it there?
Yeah. Get your money's worth, man.
What'd you pay for that controller and banana?
Mid-40s.
Man.
Mid-$40, yeah.
Dave called me.
Yeah.
Today. And he was looking for he was like, are these controllers normally like $75? Like, they're normally up there, yes.
Yeah.
So when you can find a deal, you jump on it. And I mentioned the banana deal. I just couldn't remember what you paid for it. I figured it was like $50 with a banana.
Yeah, it was mid-40s, $45 to $46.
Yeah. So, Dave, I know you needed to play it like right now because he and his wife are going to be playing Baldur's Gate 3, I think. I think it's got split-screen co-op, and they're going to play it on the PS5.
Nice.
But they need another controller, and there he goes. He just sent me a text. He's listening. So, and so it was one of those situations where I'm like, look, even if I could find you a good deal, it's probably one of those where it's got to be shipped to you, or you're going to have to go out and order it online to either do pickup or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So,
or just follow Wario64 and see if something pops up for him.
Yeah, and I looked on my Slick Deals page, to see if I could find anything, and everything was outdated. It's just random when you find deals on the controllers. It really is. I told him his best bet is to just go out to a used video game store, go to a GameStop, something like that, where people can trade in their stuff, see if anybody has brought in a controller, and go that route. You may not be paying $50 for it, but you'll be paying less than $75.
$75 to $80 from that thing.
Yeah. Which it's just ridiculous that the controllers cost that much. They're really good controllers, though. I really, really enjoy out of your console controllers, your Switch, your Xbox. The DualSense 5 is just wonderful. Yeah,
there are some third-party controllers.
I mentioned that as well. Yeah. I mentioned that you could find some third-party controllers, possibly.
Yeah.
But I have no. Let's see if he's updated, because I have no idea.
Yeah, I always look for the ones that were wired for PS4, for not having, so I wouldn't have to take the battery out for tournament play.
Yeah,
things like that. And also, it was just something good to have for a spare if something went wrong with your original controller.
Yeah, he says that. He says 2 PS5 controllers equal 1 SNES from back in our day, when you would buy those. So yeah. But I am. I'm hoping that he's just going to be satisfied with his purchase there and can enjoy the game.
Yeah. So you mentioned Slick Deals and Wario 64 and all the types of things that pop up at random, like you said, for a discount.
I mean, I am a sucker for discounts. I thrive off of finding not retail prices. You know what I'm saying? Like really good, cheap prices. So my suggestion to everybody, especially in the gaming world, Wario 64 on Twitter or Blue Sky. Although Blue Sky is good, it's just delayed there. In other words, when he posts on Twitter, you'll get it likely instantly. Blue Sky, for whatever reason, is on some sort of delay for him getting those out, and you could miss a deal.
Yeah.
The other thing is that the other thing I suggest is slickdeals.net. That is my other suggestion. You can set, I think it's .net. Yeah, slickdeals.net. You can set up alerts so that it sends you a text or an email or something when a certain item is on sale. May not be the price you want, but it'll tell you when the item's on sale, and then you can make the decision from there. So those are my 2 suggestions if you're ever looking for deals. Like I got Lego sets on my Slick Deals, which now it doesn't even matter because even when Lego's on sale, it's still too damn expensive.
Yeah. And it's not just video game stuff. I mean, all types of things are on that site.
Like I had monitors in there. I had monitor arms. I had there was some other stuff that I had. Lego sets that I mentioned. Graphics cards, power supply units, things for your PC, but it's not just electronic deals. I mean, these are they've got things up there for 16 jars of peanut butter for $5 from Amazon. You know what I'm saying?
I just went to the site now. I'm looking at now. It says popular deals, 48-count box of Snickers. It's just random stuff that's on sale right now. Yeah.
Hey, how much is that 48-count box of Snickers?
Let's see. 37.
Yeah.
35 with shipping and handling.
Chocolate's expensive.
Everything's expensive.
True.
But if the price is right, it ain't going to stop you.
I mean, no.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Let's see. Furniture, app subscriptions.
I'll buy stuff I don't even need because it's like $2. And it's like, but it's $2.
Yeah. Power tools. 5 quarts of motor oil for your vehicle. Lipstick. Rings. All types of stuff in there. So, yeah, it's not just electronics on slickdeals.net, but yeah. Just set up a notice for whatever item you're looking for, and there it is. They'll get it to you.
Yep. So, all right. I wish I could tell you that I have more things to discuss or talk about, or I mean, as far as what we've been playing, but I just have not. The gaming bug has not bit me for a while.
Yeah, like I said, I'm still the big 3. I'm still getting stuff out of those 3 games, so I'm just going to keep playing it till it runs out or something else pops up. But I got plenty to play because we got a backlog that's pages long.
I mean, I'm in the same boat as you with that backlog that is just massive. But even with a backlog as massive as the ones that we have, it's still like walking into, if you're a book nerd, it's like walking into a bookstore or a library.
Yeah.
And if you're a movie nerd, it's like walking into a movie store or like a block. Well, I mean, those don't exist anymore.
Well, look, I'm still getting titles that I've loved for a long time on Blu-ray because I had them on like VHS, and I know the tape's going to wear out. I know the disc is going to wear out.
It's just you look at the choices. Yeah. Your choices are massive, and it's like, well, what do I want to watch, or what do I want to read, or what, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. You've got options galore, but you still can't make up your mind on like, what do you want? Mm-hmm. Best thing to do is just, and with gaming, it's just pick something and try it and see if it holds your attention. There's so many different genres to choose from, so many different styles of gameplay. So many. Are you looking for something that you don't care about the graphics, but you just want something that's good gameplay? Do you want something that's open world, so you can just kind of go at your own pace and enjoy? Do you want a racer? Do you want a shooter? Do you want a puzzler? Options are endless.
Yeah,
as they all are with our media choices, as it is. So we got to take a break, and when we come back, we'll dive into some news. We got plenty of news to discuss. We've also got, and I don't know when I'll get to this, but we've got the Grammys were held last Sunday. And there was a video game track that took home a Grammy Award that I didn't even know was nominated. I didn't even know, it's not even related to a video game other than Mario, but it's not licensed by Nintendo. Like, Nintendo has nothing to do with it. It's just an arrangement from this group who took like a Mario medley thing. Anyway, they came home with a Grammy with it. We've got the music for it. At some point, I'll get around to playing it. It's got like this, they call it the Super Mario Praise Break. And it's a gospel-esque rendition of the Mario theme.
Yeah.
With other little motifs of Mario mixed into it. Mm-hmm. So we'll get around to that at some point coming up. And as we go to our break here, we've got music from this is our new game week, and even though I say new, this is coming from May of last year. Because that's how I'm going through there. In fact, I could probably dump with some of the retro stuff and just continue to pick last year's music and be good. But this is music from Revenge of the Savage Planet. Great soundtrack, by the way. As I was looking for this, through this to find music for it, every single one of the tracks for Revenge of the Savage Planet were fantastic. Were really, really good. So it's the music for this game, I would say, is worth your time if you like the style. Anyway, Revenge of the Savage Planet. That's called Welcome to the Galaxy. We'll be right back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. Welcome back into the show. Music from the game called The Midnight Walk. The track is called The Final Fire.
I was about to say, because it sounds like a boss battle.
Could be. I'm not too familiar with the game.
Yeah.
I know it had some music that I used during our Halloween or October episodes where we played nothing but spooky game music. And we featured a track from that game. I wouldn't call it a horror game, but
suspense.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't. Yeah. I really, honestly, I don't know. I want to say it's also VR, which is why I guess I haven't played it or tried it. It may not. It may have VR aspects to it, but it's not. You can play it without VR. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. So. Anyway, welcome to the show. One of the news things that we had, in fact, I referenced it in my post for last week's show. Because last week's show, we were talking about just closures and you know, the amount of jobs that have been lost. In fact, I looked it up, and for the month of January, from January 1st to January 31st of 2026, there had already been like 1,200 jobs gone.
Yeah.
1,200 jobs lost. And I'm adding in something that happened just right after the show. The Ashes of Creation, the entire company, they folded. Now, this comes from Eurogamer. It says the Ashes of Creation's leadership team quits in protest as director accuses board of decisions he could not ethically agree with or carry out. The remaining Intrepid Studios staff are now reportedly facing mass layoffs. It's an MMORPG that was brought to life by the $3.2 million donated by almost 20,000 backers in 2017, which I guess means it was a Kickstarter thing. But the director and creator quit in protest. Following a slew of unhappy messages from numerous people posted online across Discord and LinkedIn, it appears that director Stephen Sheriff's resignation triggered further resignations across much of the senior leadership team of Intrepid Studios, after which the board proceeded with a mass layoff. Things seem to be coming to a head towards the end of January when on the 27th a notice was posted on the official website promising to address several issues and informing players that the studio is moving its development update to February the 13th. That's this Friday. It was signed by the Ashes of Creation team and did not address the game's future. The creative director that I mentioned said, "I can make a limited statement in my personal capacity and not on behalf of the company regarding the situation. Control of the company shifted away from me, and the board began directing actions that I could not ethically agree with or carry out. As a result, I chose to resign in protest rather than lend my name or authority to decisions I could not ethically support. Following my resignation, much of the senior leadership resigned. Following those departures, the board made the decision to issue WARN Act notices, which I am not familiar with those are, and proceed with a mass layoff. I cannot responsibly speak to further details at this time due to ongoing legal and governance matters. What I can say is that the developers and staff acted in good faith and deserved better than the uncertainty that they are now facing. I am incredibly dismayed at the situation." Then, overnight, January 31st, last weekend, Director of Communications Margaret Crone confirmed on LinkedIn that their time at Intrepid Studios has come to a close. Writing, as far as how this all ended, I don't really have the words. It wasn't what I expected, but I'm holding on to the good because there was so much of it. Players are now understandably concerned that the game they only purchased a couple of weeks ago, it released on early access December 11th, could be in jeopardy. And the Steam page and its subsequent reviews is now filling up with concerns and complaints from players trying to get an answer on the game's fate. We reached out to Intrepid Studios. We'll update as soon as we get a response. Anyway, someone asked somebody on LinkedIn if the game had indeed been canceled, and they replied, "I don't work there anymore, so I can't answer that for you personally. I don't know how they would make it when the heart and soul of the product, the amazing dev team, was all laid off." So, To add to this, an article from Rock, Paper, Shotgun. The communications director, Margaret, that I mentioned, had a comment that said, Intrepid Studios has shut down in a way that I did not expect. She says she was informed by people up the ladder that Intrepid would lay off 100 people on January the 28th. The next day, she shared this info in secrecy with her game services team. I told them that changes were coming, that I did not yet know who would be affected, and that I wished I had more certainty to offer. I could not live with myself if I did not give them advance notice. These are people who deserve to be treated like human beings. On January 30th, having gotten confirmation of who would be affected, Crone spoke individually with members of her team. She said those who were staying began working on ways to move forward. Even those who knew they would be leaving offered their support. But then, on the 31st, quoting her again, we were all informed via a confusing email that we would be laid off, along with a worker adjustment and retraining notification. There's the WARN thing that we were talking about. Mm-hmm. Despite the notice, Crone said that none of us are receiving our final paychecks. The 60 days notice and pay outlined under the WARN Act, PTO payouts and other compensation owed. So apparently they're not getting that. According to an accompanying brochure, an employee who qualifies for protection under the Act must receive a written notice 60 days before the date of a mass layoff or plant closing and is otherwise entitled to seek damages for back pay and benefits for up to 60 days, depending on how many days' notice you actually received. So, yeah, they're not even going to get their final paycheck. Which is just salt on the wound, really. Yeah. Like, hey, we're laying you off, and it's like, well, I'll go out there and find. I mean, that's devastating. I don't want to lessen that, but that's devastating. That okay, they're laying us off, but then you think, all right, well, this next paycheck will get me through, and and then you're not even going to get that. That's not even going to happen. So. I mean, the industry is just, and I don't know what's to come of it. We talked about this. I don't know what's to come of this stuff with the way AI is going. And I mean, we can have that conversation on AI at some point. And hopefully the conversation that we have on AI is when the bubble breaks, right? Yeah. That, okay, then we can talk about, see, we knew AI was bad. Now it's going away. Thank God. Mm-hmm. Because talking about it now is not really going to change anything. Mm-hmm. But my thinking is the way that the investment that is being made into AI is driving up the cost of everything else, technology-wise. Yeah. I don't necessarily know that it's affecting food, but in some sort of weird 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon way, it probably is, right? Mm-hmm. In some way, the investment in AI, which is driving up RAM prices and hard drive prices, is somehow 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 steps down the way, affecting the prices at the grocery store. Maybe. Who knows?
This company owns that company, which owns that company, which produces food. We need more money. So jack up the prices at the food company that we own, and therefore we can get more money to invest in this product. Maybe that's how it goes.
You totally could, because to get the food to the grocery stores takes shipping. Shipping takes computers. Computers takes RAM. RAM is going. Yeah. I mean, there's ways that it's all connected. Yeah, sadly. Mm-hmm. But to talk in the tech realm, and what we're specifically talking about here, is the fact that prices for your computer equipment is going up. Individually, those prices being your RAM, being your hard drives, being your I don't know where it'll be affected next. But it's starting with those, and it's going to spread. So in order for video game companies to advance, to keep making games, to whatever, they usually upgrade their equipment and that sort of thing, but they won't be able to do that anymore. Or if they do, they're going to have to reduce pay, reduce people. And then if they bring in AI, which I'm sure they'll pay a good penny for to get whatever that best iteration of AI could be, then they won't even need the people anymore. And you'll be playing AI games of some sort that are probably complete crap. But I don't know. I don't know where the future of AI lies as far as gaming is concerned. I know that we have AI right now in like graphics cards that are helping with the way games look, but not necessarily being used in the development of games. We are using AI in the development of games, but I'm not exactly sure in such a way that is eliminating people from those. I imagine it's happening, but I don't yet know really how it is, whether it's through QA testing, whether it's through coding maybe. I'm not sure because I don't develop games, but I know that there's a path for it, and they're going to take it, if they can, to save money and make more money. Because that's what businesses do. So we'll see. It's not pretty. And it doesn't seem like it's going to get any better anytime soon. Like, it's one of those things that feels like it's going to get worse before it gets better. Prices are going to continue to go up. Jobs are people are going to continue to lose jobs.
See a crash coming?
I mean, it will.
Yeah.
Like, the bubble will break. I just don't know when. I would like to say that it would be, and I hate to use this because it sounds so dramatic. I'd like to say it would be within my lifetime, because I could not imagine living the rest of my life in a AI-generated world, you know? Where what I'm watching is all, God, there was this trend on Facebook, and I know it's some kind of cutesy thing of people doing the characters of themselves through AI. And I get that it's just like, oh, that's fun. You're just feeding into the algorithm. You're feeding into the training. You're feeding into what they need to continue to produce and continue to make that and continue to spread that and continue. I know I don't want to get a conspiracy theorist on this stuff.
Yeah.
But it is just continuing to grow in that direction. And it's getting harder and harder to look at without being kind of turned off by it, you know? Like, it's disgusting. Right? And I know it's like this cutesy thing that 99% of the people would look at and be like, oh, that's kind of cool, you know? Whether they want to do it themselves or not. That's kind of cool. Or that's really neat looking. And I was like, well, yeah, but it's got 5 fingers. Or 5, it's got 5 fingers, which it would. But it's like, no. It's like 7 pinkies and a toe or something like that. It's like, which they've come a long way with that.
Yeah, they were getting the kinks out with
there used to be a
AI
time
art,
where that's all you had to look at was like, well, let me count the fingers. Okay, that's not real. But now it's just got there's just a flavor on these things that are just, it's odd because it's imagery, but it doesn't pass the smell test, right?
Yeah.
I was watching a video in here prior on my laptop here, prior to the show, and it was narrating, I guess, the video, but you could tell it was an AI narration.
Yeah.
It was blatant. Like, you could easily tell that that's what that was. Anyway, I'll just keep going on and on and on about that if I were to do that. So, I know, and that's the other thing. So, Brian RTR in the chat room says we've come a long way from Will Smith eating spaghetti, and that was just 2 years ago. Yeah, they keep showing the Will Smith eating spaghetti thing as AI is developed, and it's getting better and better of Will Smith eating spaghetti.
Yeah. Give it enough time and practice, it's going to get better and better.
Yeah, which I know that sounds weird, but as an example of how it's advanced, you can look at that 2 years ago and be like, God, that's the weirdest looking thing in the world, because it could not sort of give you that. The spaghetti was all weird because every strand was different, and the way it was eating is just strange. And so you could look at it and laugh at it because, well, it's AI trying to, look at that funny thing trying to mimic human stuff. Now you look at it and it's like, is that a funny thing mimicking human stuff, or is that human doing a thing? You know? It's becoming harder and harder to tell.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, again, this is it's It's a soapbox I could go on and on about.
I know it irks the blank out of you.
It really does. It really, 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 really does. It really does. Like if we could have found a stopping point for it and be like, that's as far as we're going, and we'll just make it this cute thing that can help with your writing or give you some ideas or some sort of like help the creative process, not take over the creative process. Just help, assist, and stop right there. Instead of don't create, just assist. But no, we don't want to do that. We want it to do everything. And again, I know there's a counter to that of like, they got AI working on equations and algorithms and things that can possibly develop a cure for cancer or a cure for this or Parkinson's or something else, something that can actually aid humanity, right? So would it be worth going through to get that? There's a discussion to be had there at some point, which absolutely does not involve video games whatsoever. That's just, we'll move on from there. Not that we're going to move on to any more good news. Because then speaking of AI, the very next story I have, gaming companies saw share prices plummet this week after Google rolled out Project Genie 3, an AI tool that lets users generate visual worlds in 60-second bursts from text prompts. Companies like Take-Two, CD Projekt Unity, and even Roblox saw between 8 and 20% wiped off the value of their companies as spooked investors seemingly went into the weekend thinking tech like this could replace the game development process, which it can't, of course, at least not yet anyway, says this article. Bloomberg wrote, gaming stocks are dropping today after Google's rollout of Project Genie, an AI tool, blah, blah, blah. This is a result of the market that does not understand how video games are made. To be clear, this is not a referendum on the quality of AI content. Markets are spooked because they believe tools like Project Genie will allow anyone to generate a video game. It's not actually possible, however. So, Similar statement. Video game stocks are suddenly crashing today with the launch of Google's Project Genie because investors think games will start magically getting made with AI. That's just not going to happen yet. It looks incredible. The examples given, which include the prompts used to generate them, are undoubtedly impressive, most of which respond to external third-party controls or inputs. But the tech comes with several limitations, not least that its interactive elements are significantly restricted, and creations are only a minute long. It would be extraordinarily unwise to suggest that Genie couldn't challenge game engines like Unity or Unreal one day, but given the incredibly limited examples provided, it's unlikely to do so anytime soon. That's the thing. They're like, it's a long way away, but it'll get here. Do you remember when we did our 500th and we're like, boy, it'll be forever so when we get to 1,000?
Yeah.
Well, we're on 839.
Yeah.
So we're close.
So give it time, yeah.
Just AI again.
It makes you question whether or not these investors know what they're investing in. Someone just telling us a hot commodity to get into, and video games are at the top of the entertainment cog, and just invest in it, and then this thing comes along and makes them scared, so to speak.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, do they know what they're investing in and the process it takes to make a video game?
I know, yeah. I get what you're saying, and I don't know what the investors are thinking about. I really don't. Mm-hmm. They're scared that somebody's going to make a video game using AI, and I guess I don't understand why that. I think that just tells me that the investors are not as educated on AI as they should be or as they could be.
Mm-hmm.
I did not see this Project Gemini thing. I have no idea what that looked like.
Yeah.
I don't know what it looked like. I don't know what it did. I don't know how good it looked. And would it have scared me to see how good it looked? Probably just in a sense of just like the article where it's not scaring me for the present. It's scaring me for the future.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not afraid of it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid of what it's going to become.
Mm.
So, anyway. We are coming up on our break here, and let's see if Dave has mentioned anything. Yep. He said, I'll emphasize a word here that he didn't use, but I'm emphasizing it because he used a word that sounds like it, that is not the same. He said, that stuff's so tacky looking. So you likely know what he meant in that regard. But yeah, so anyway, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll jump into more news. Hopefully, well, nope, it's more AI. Sorry. It's more AI news. Specifically that Sony thing. Did you come across that Sony story about AI? It's like one more down, from it. It's a quick hit that we'll do on it because we won't stay around. But you see it? Did you see it?
I see it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's kind of dumb. We got music here from metalheads. If you guys like your metal in your video games, might I suggest to you the soundtrack to Doom: The Dark Ages? Nothing but, yeah, you'll hear it as we play it. This is called Colossus Unleashed from Doom: The Dark Ages. Good game, by the way. Got repetitive on me, but it's a good game. So, anyway, we'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. And welcome back into In-Game Chat. This is music from a game called Fantasy Life I. The Girl Who Steals Time, I think, is like the subtitle for it. This is the main theme from that game. I know absolutely nothing about it.
Not a boss battle.
No, main theme, not a boss battle. Not at all. Just one more mention of AI. I say one more. There could be some more in here that I haven't hit. In fact, I'm checking real quick. Right. No, that's it. The other thing about this AI is that Sony has patented an AI-generated podcast that is voiced by characters from its game. Which... and I haven't read the article on this, but if they are actually using, like Nate Drake, which is the character, which would be voiced by Nolan North.
Mm-hmm.
If it is an AI-generated podcast using their characters' voices. If they're sound-alikes, that's one thing. But if they're using the actual voice artist's
sound files from the game
voice to generate... and I get it. You probably own those lines. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You probably own... I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where the copyright is on that. And maybe it's in that article, but honestly, I'm so tired of AI that I don't even want to read it. I mean, I'm not kidding. I really don't. But I'm sure there's something in there about the fact that they're using these actors' voices. If they are, unless they are just using sound-alikes, which could also be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But Sony owns the character, and people know what those characters sound like. So I would imagine it would be the voice files that they already have, of which they have probably tons.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it, Nolan North has been doing Nathan Drake for 4 games at the very least, not to mention any other sort of uses that they've had him for with his voice, which, honestly, Nate Drake is basically just Nolan North's voice. It's not something he altered or changed. Then you got Kratos' voice actor. You've got, just go down the list. You got Joel and Ellie. You got all the different characters they've used over the years to be used in there in some way, being used with AI. So I really don't want to make this the AI show, but things kind of happen that it kind of becomes that way. What else do we have here? Oh, I know. There was another story about AI. It was hidden, however, because it was talking about the Steam machines. Valve has announced that they've pushed back the release plans for the new Steam machine, also the Steam controller and the Steam Frame, which is their VR headset. Instead of early 2026, which was the original release window, Valve are now only aiming to ship the hardware trio in the first half of the year. There are no prizes, he says, for guessing the cause either. The Steam blog post notes specifically that ongoing memory and SSD shortages caused by the tech industry buying up components to build infrastructure for AI products have both scuppered the initial launch plans and delayed Valve's decision on how the Steam machine and its brethren will be priced. The post reads, when we announced these products in November, we planned on being able to share specific pricing and launch dates by now, but the memory and storage shortages you've likely heard about across the industry have rapidly increased since then. The limited availability and growing prices of these critical components mean we must revisit our exact shipping schedule and pricing, especially around Steam Machine and Steam Frame. Our goal of shipping all 3 products in the first half of the year has not changed, but we have work to do to land on concrete pricing and launch dates that we can confidently announce, being mindful of how quickly the circumstances around both of these things can change. We'll keep you updated as much as we can while we finalize those plans as soon as possible. If they do arrive in the first half of 2026, that ultimately wouldn't be a long wait beyond the originally announced window. Higher than expected prices seem like a given, however, particularly for the machine and the frame. The controller might be able to dodge the blow of some of the economics hammer here because it won't contain an SSD or RAM inside of it. But the VR headset will, and the actual PC box itself will.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of waiting on that one again. There is a sweet spot there. I don't know where it is, but there is definitely a sweet spot to where you can put a price on that thing and be safe. Safe for consumers. There's a price on it that is safe for consumers but is bad for business. There's a price on it that, should people buy it, it would be great for business, but it's going to hurt consumers because it's going to be massively out of their budget.
Yeah. You got to have that middle ground, man.
Building a PC right now is massively out of the budget. You know what I'm saying? And everybody,
unless you use out of date tech.
Even out of date tech, so the RAM that is going on right now is DDR5. That's the big one, and that's the one that's driving prices. But because you have shortages now, there's price increases on DDR4. What you can find of it, because the 5's not available, so people are switching to the 4, which is also raising those prices.
Supply and demand, yeah.
Yeah. So it's even so. Your point of using older tech is true for now, but not much longer because it's going to increase.
Is DDR3 still an option?
I don't think so. I don't hear it mentioned. Like when we talk about when I talk about PC builds and things like that, I rarely ever see anything mentioned. haven't seen anything mentioned with DDR3. 4, yes. 5, yes. But not so much with 3 when it comes to it. Graphics cards, they don't, what?
No, I was just saying to each his own, because I've used, when I've built PCs, I've never used really top of the line anything, because my PC doesn't need to have top of the line for what I do. Mm-hmm. Basically, my bread and butter for PC builds is storage space and handling data, things of that nature. Gaming wise, I've done it on my consoles more than anything else. I mean, I can game on the PC, but it's not going to be anything graphic intense.
Yeah.
Anything that big, I will play on my console anyway. So I guess to each his own. So for PC builds. So for me, DDR3, DDR4 for now, right now, would be fine for me, and storage space.
Yeah,
really.
It's going to be, like I said, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
It's really going to get worse before it gets better, and that sucks.
Yeah, I remember when power supplies were still. Remember when power supplies shot up in price for some reason?
That was that during COVID?
It might have been.
I want to say it was during COVID.
I want to say it was there was a point in time when, for some reason, power supplies shot up in price, and we couldn't put a finger on it.
And I can't remember what was pushing that.
Yeah,
but I do remember that. I mean, everything is kind of. I've seen it. I've seen the ups and downs as far as PC building's gone with that. Graphics cards were massively expensive back during the crypto stuff, which was also during COVID, Bitcoin and everything else, Bitcoin mining. People were buying up graphics cards so they could mine for Bitcoin and, get stuff out of that. That eventually fell off because the graphics card makers realized they could put like limiters or something inside the graphics card specifically for that purpose. And they weren't as efficient in generating or mining for Bitcoin than what previously was.
Yeah.
And so that brought things back down into realistic territory as far as your prices were concerned.
If someone put it in, couldn't someone take it out?
I think they found ways around it.
Yeah.
As they always do.
Give it time.
But it didn't, eventually the bubble didn't burst on that, as you know, because Bitcoin's massive.
Yeah.
But eventually, for whatever reason, and I didn't read into this as it happened because I wasn't in the market for a graphics card. But eventually, that all settled and stopped. People weren't buying these things up to mine Bitcoin.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I don't know if they found a better way to do it, or I'm not sure. But it stopped being used for that purpose.
Okay.
Not that it matters, because now you got the RAM issue. So.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? We did have a Nintendo Direct, didn't we? Yeah, we did. We should go over that. There was a February Nintendo Direct, which I did not watch. But I can tell you what was in the Nintendo Direct. A game called Orbitals, which is coming out this summer. It's a retro anime co-op puzzler. Spacefaring adventure. It's a co-op game. I don't know really anything about it. Paranorman Sight, The Mermaid's Curse, coming out in February this month. Captain... Oh, boy.
Tsubasa.
Thank you. Oh, it's the soccer game. Yeah. A sequel to that, and it's called World Fighters. It's going to be released at some point this year. I do not have an actual date. Tokyo Scramble, coming out February the 11th. It's a new survival horror game coming out this month. Valheim, coming out this month on Switch 2. I say this month, coming out this year on Switch 2. The Switch 2 edition of Hollow Knight was released that same day. It's out now. If you own the Switch version, the Switch 2 upgrade is absolutely free. eFootball Kickoff. The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales, coming out June 18th. Super Bomberman Collection is out today. Man, Bomberman was fun. I haven't played Bomberman in a while. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on the Switch 2. That's June 3rd. Pragmata, April 24th. Turok Origins, fall of this year. I don't know what that next game is. Kyoto Xanadu? Yeah, no, that's right. Kyoto Xanadu.
You got it right.
Yeah, got it right, man.
Yeah.
Kyoto Xanadu coming out this summer. Digimon Storytime Stranger. I don't do the Digimons. Comes out July. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink coming out July 9th. Monster Hunter Stories 3 coming out March 13th. They all got dates. This is nice. Oh, we got Console Archives and Arcade Archives 2, Today and Beyond. That is coming out as well. There was a sizzle reel that had a bunch of stuff being released. I'm not going to go over all of those. Disney Dreamlight Valley is getting a Switch 2 edition in March.
Anything in that list stand out to you? Other than that?
No. Reanimal, maybe. The Dreamlight Valley was one likely that is something that's, big for people, I guess. But Resident Evil Requiem comes out later this month on the Switch 2. Oh, we're getting the Oblivion remaster coming out on Switch 2 at some point later this year. Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition coming out February the 24th. Indiana Jones The Great Circle, a Microsoft title getting released on the Switch 2 May 12th is when that's going to get released. So that's what was announced at the Nintendo Direct. And I'm kind of like, yeah, okay, it wasn't really that bad of a deal that I missed it. Yeah. There was very little in just what I read that appealed to me.
Yeah.
Me personally. You may have found something in there that was absolutely like, yep, that's my jam, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. I think what stood out to me was the free download if you bought the original version of Hollow Knight.
You don't get that a lot.
Yeah, free from Nintendo.
Well, it's not from Nintendo. The developers did that.
Yeah, but...
And they're not Nintendo... They're not first-party Nintendo developers.
Okay.
They're a third-party developer.
Yeah. I guess the point is I have trouble with Nintendo and free in the same.
Right, I know. Well, because it's not. Because if you were to buy any of, if you were to buy Mario Wonder, Super Mario Wonder on the Switch 1, and they released the Switch 2 edition, which they did, you've got to pay some sort, I don't know what it is, 10, 20 bucks, 15, something like that, to upgrade to the Switch 2 edition. So no, it is not free. When Nintendo is involved first party. When it's not first party, it's up to them to decide. It's up to whoever the developer is, the publisher is, to decide, do you want to charge people for an upgrade? You don't have to, or you can, whatever the case may be. And most people who are genuinely nice to their consumers say, no, they bought it once, give them the upgrade, I mean, if it came with DLC or something like that, if it came with something added on to it, then maybe you charge a fee for it. But if all they're getting it is so they can play it on their newer machine, give them a free upgrade, people. Sony did the same thing. If you had bought the game on PS4 and you wanted the PS5 version, $10. Or they would release a remaster. And if you own the original, it's only $10 to get the remastered version. But it's like, no, man. I mean, I can't. Realistically, this is what we've been living with, so it's not necessarily something that I can start complaining about now, because I've been complaining about it since it happened. It was just always seemed like a, like a slap to the face of like, thanks for buying it. Buy it again. Just $10 will let you buy it again.
Yep. On the flip side, there's things that we've double dipped in.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. I own plenty of copies of Burnout Paradise.
Yep.
A lot of copies of Burnout Paradise. What's another game that I have? I got so many editions of Myst. I have Myst. I have Real Myst. I have... what's the other one? It's another version of Myst. And then there's another version of Myst that I have. It's a lot of Mysts.
Yeah.
Mysts.
Yeah, these are just games that are special to us in their own right. So yeah, I mean, how many times did I buy MLB The Show?
Right.
Yeah. So
hey, speaking of games that are getting released again, we're getting a re-release of Poker Night at the Inventory.
I think I played 2.
Where this came from, I have no idea.
I think I played the second one of that. I think it was may have been offered free for PS Plus.
This comes from an article from PCGamer.com. It says, Poker Night at the Inventory was, for a very brief time, kind of a phenom in the world of video games. It was an early Telltale release. It was a poker game starring 4 big-at-the-video-game characters. It had Max from Sam & Max. It had Strong Bad from Homestar Runner. It had The Heavy from Team Fortress 2, and it had Tycho from Penny Arcade, the webcomic.
Mm-hmm.
It was all a bit of a flash in the pan, though. A sequel arrived in 2013. Both of them fizzled out fairly quickly. They were delisted from Steam several years ago, and I don't think anybody has ever thought about them in ages. And I absolutely am one of those people. I remember it.
Yeah.
I absolutely remember it. I loved, at that time, any times a poker game would come out, I was like, hey, it's a poker game. Mm-hmm. And this one involved involved characters to play, instead of avatars of other people or the Xbox Cam Vision thing that we played for Texas Hold'em.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the characters in the one that I was playing. I want to say
the sequel?
I want to say it was Brock from Venture Brothers. And
right.
Ash from Evil Dead.
I think you're right on that, too. I mean, I could look it up.
Sam & Max was in there somewhere.
Well, they were in the original, and I think they came back in that one. I think they added a lot more characters.
Yeah.
Poker Night 2. Oh, yeah, GLaDOS was in there. Claptrap was part of it as well. There's the gameplay. The 4 additional characters in the edition were Sam from Sam & Max, Brock Sampson, Ash Williams, and Claptrap. GLaDOS took a supporting role as the dealer. Additional brief cameos included Steve the Bandit from Mad Moxie and Mad Moxie from Borderlands.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Halo guy.
Yeah. God, I remember. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I haven't played a online type poker game in a long time. Anyway,
let's see. Generally favorable reviews.
Yeah,
on the PC and iOS versions.
That all changed today, though, as far as us thinking about it, because Skunk Ape Games announced that Poker Night at the Inventory is coming back in a remastered edition that's set to launch in March. Why, you ask? Well, why not is my reply, because honestly, that's all I can come up with. Mm-hmm. Poker Night at the Inventory was fine, really, but it was praised more for its humor and character interactions than the actual gameplay, which is a bit flat and buggy. I do remember that. The game included 4 Team Fortress 2 unlockables, 1 for each character, and some folks bought it not out of any particular interest in poker or snappy dialogue, but just because they wanted the TF2 swag and were willing to invest $5 in a couple of hours of their time to get it. Some of those same people are awfully excited to hear that, yes, indeed, those items are coming back. Win them at the table, and they'll become yours in TF2 as well. Huh. They promise updated... Oh, wow, those are updated graphics. They promise updated graphics and lighting fixes to improve the underlying poker simulation, plus new unlockables and quality of life features. It's not the most bedazzling visual update ever, but if you look closely, yeah, it looks slightly different. They have a picture of what it looks like. It's polished, I can tell you that. It's really polished. The lighting and the shading.
Lighting and the shading, yeah. Especially stands out.
They absolutely stand out. But that's just the looks of it. Your gameplay is still poker.
Yep.
So that's what you're still getting out of it. Let's see. I'm trying to stop this thing to... What else do we have? Pokemon got a pinball machine announced by Stern. Stern Pinball has announced that an official Pokemon pinball table is on the way, but you'll need some deep pockets to buy. Look, if for whatever reason you're a Pokemon fan, and suddenly you hear about a pinball machine being announced, and you're thinking, that's great, I'll save up. Good luck. Pinball is expensive.
Yep.
I have priced these things. Used pinball tables is about what you're looking for. And when I say used, I mean from the 70s used.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking to buy a used Addams Family table or Twilight Zone table, and that's coming from like late 80s, early 90s,
yeah,
you're still looking to pay, especially with those being very expensive, very high-quality tables.
Mm-hmm.
You're still looking at paying, like, four figures for a pinball machine.
I mean, going to AWA, anime conventions, where in the game room, they had vintage pinball tables in there, well kept and still playable.
Mm-hmm. Did they have prices on them?
They didn't have prices on them, but I could tell by the way they were kept and everything like that, they had some significant value to those things, man.
They absolutely did. According to Stern, the pro model of the Pokemon table will cost $7,000.
Mm-hmm.
The premium table is priced at $9,700, and a limited edition model coming in at $13,000. Of that limited edition, only 750 are being made. And if it's anything like Stern's Ultra or other ultra limited pinball machines, it'll have some sort of gimmick to justify the price. The John Wick themed pinball table at, is that 13? I have a speck on my screen.
Yep,
made it look like 18.
$13,000 John Wick table in 2024.
It looked great. It featured various interactive elements inspired by the movies and included pieces of Wick's iconic suits. So, yeah. Let's see. Beyond that, fans can also visit a Pokemon-themed park in Tokyo and a Pokemon Day stream expected to air later this month of February. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, they're getting a pinball table. Yay. I haven't played any pinball in a while. Or let me be more specific. I haven't played any new pinball machines in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of places that just have here's some tables to play.
Yeah. And
a lot of them would be your old legacy type tables, sort of thing, like the Addams Family or like a Twilight Zone, like a Funhouse, like No Good Gophers or Taxi or The Getaway or, I'm throwing out a bunch of names of old pinball machines that I used to play all the time.
The Black Knight.
Oh, Black Knight's actually kind of a rarity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you find one of those, you're playing history on that. Black Knight and Black Knight 2000.
Those were at AWA. That's what I mean.
Yeah. You're playing some history when you're playing those.
Mm-hmm.
Those Black Knight was your first multi-layer, I believe, pinball machine.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say multi-layer because I know other games had the Black Hole had a table underneath the table, and a smaller playfield underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Black Knight had an elevated table up above, and it was really cool. I think Creature from the Black Lagoon also had a table under the table type thing that it also did. So Black Knight 2000, really good. Black Knight was also really exceptional. Tables. They were the old school stuff, too. What else do we have for our... Hey, we're getting an HBO show for Baldur's Gate. Speaking of, that's what Dave wrote me back. What did he say? Oh no, that was the tacky looking thing we're saying. He says, "Yeah, we're charging the controller now. We'll probably try and play the game after the show. So I'm going to go into some Baldur's Gate 3. Enjoy that, Dave. Go play some Baldur's Gate 3. There's going to be an HBO show. The same guy that worked on Last of Us, not Neil Druckmann, who actually worked on Last of Us, the game and the show. The Craig Malzahn, I believe is his name. He's the writer who's going to pick up where Baldur's Gate 3 ended. Here's the thing about Baldur's Gate 3. There are massive multiple endings, and they have to pick one that they are going to say, this is where we're going from this ending on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because Baldur's Gate 3 can end in any number of ways for any number of different people. Because of who survives, who makes it through the game, that sort of thing.
I guess the one with the most people who survived, because you have more characters to work with for sequels.
Possibly. It's a good point. It's a good way of looking at it. I haven't read any of the articles to see if there's been a statement of, like, this is the ending we're working from and this is where we're going. I haven't read anything like that. So. No. Anyway, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to get to that that Grammy award-winning track. It's a fun track, and so I think we may play it when we come back. or as we leave. So when we come back and then as we leave the show at the end of the program, we may play it out is what we'll do. So might do that. For now, though, we have music from a game called Monster Train 2. This is called Initial Ascent. And we'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. Welcome back into In-Game Chat. This is music from Deliver at All Costs. It's called Escaping the Eruption. It was a game I was kind of looking forward to, and then it released, and I looked at it, and I was like, it doesn't look as fun as I thought it would be. I don't know how well it did, but yeah, anyway. Real quick, before we move on, Nabokov fan posted in our Discord, and I have not heard of this at all, and I really should look to see about. I haven't heard anything. This is according to an analyst. The rumored, and so it's a rumored, third DLC for The Witcher 3. I didn't know that they were working on more DLC. The Witcher 3 came out in 2017. Right? Let me look.
Let's see.
I'm real curious now.
Oh, by the way, Deliver at All Costs on Steam. It was mostly positive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Witcher 3 released in 2015.
Okay.
I knew it was around the same time as Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
Which I hate to say it, but I kind of want to reinstall that just to do the Batman combat. But you know what? We're getting a Lego Batman game later this year that sort of mimics that style of gameplay, so maybe I'll hold off. But The Witcher 3 actually is something I really should reinstall and go back to. At 2015, on the graphics card that I had at the time, it worked, just didn't work as well as it could. If I were to go back and reinstall it now, I'd probably enjoy that. I would probably really enjoy that. So, and that's a game I never finished. That's a game I really never got out of the prologue with. That's one of those games where I was like, turn the wait feature off, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to collect all these items. Do not weight me down on this. But anyway, Nabokov says the rumored third DLC for The Witcher 3 is expected to sell 11 million copies at $30 each. According to analyst, and I'm not going to try and pronounce the name, this DLC has a production budget of $14.5 million, excluding the marketing, and should kick off the proper marketing campaign for The Witcher 4. This is something I had no idea that was coming. If it's coming at all, I don't know. Because I haven't seen it pop up in my news feeds. I'm not saying it's not true. It says rumored, so I don't know. But I haven't heard anything about it. But that would be cool if it did. Let me get to this Super Mario mix. I say mix. Let's talk about this. Gaming's most recognizable mascot helped a jazz cover band bring home a Grammy Award on Sunday. The 8-Bit Big Band won the award for Best Arrangement, Instrumental or A Cappella, for its track Super Mario Praise Break at the 68th Annual Grammy Awards. The ensemble, known for its jazz arrangements of popular video game music. And if this is anything like what they normally do, I want to hear more, by the way. They released a 4-track medley last summer celebrating Mario. The Gospel Mario Brothers medley features covers of Super Mario Brothers theme from the original Super Mario Brothers, Bob-omb Battlefield from Super Mario 64, Gusty Garden Galaxy from Super Mario Galaxy, and Athletic theme from Super Mario World. The description of the YouTube video reads, "The princess might be in another castle, but the Lord is in the house today. If he has brought you to another level, go ahead and bless him. No blue shell thrown against me shall prosper." So there you go. This wasn't the 8-bit This was not the 8-bit big band's first win at the Grammys. It previously took home the same award for its cover of Meta Knight's Revenge from Kirby Superstar back in 2022. It was also nominated in 2025 for its cover of Persona 5's Last Surprise, and was nominated this year for Best Large Jazz Ensemble Album for its album Orchestrator Emulator. Austin Wintory and Sword of the Sea earned the Grammy for Best Score Soundtrack for Video Games and Other Interactive Media, while K-Pop Demon Hunters made history at the award show. Then Album Record Song of the Year, respectively, for the Grammys. Here is a little bit of that Super Mario. I say a little bit. It's 4.5 minutes. I might actually play the whole thing. We'll talk over it, just so you know we're here. It's all instrumental, but God, is it really good. You got pianos, you got horns, you got a nice like bass guitar thing going on. Here it is. No vocals at all, by the way. Take that back. There is some counting. This is absolutely going to get our YouTube channel flagged. I don't think they played it at the Grammys, but it was nominated and won. Yeah. By the way, the video for this is all like them in the studio recording the track.
Yeah, I mean, I remember they did some renditions of Marvel vs. Capcom 2's.
Really? You're familiar with this band?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the first time I heard of them was when they did Marvel Capcom 2.
I did not know that. This is my first time I've heard of them.
Yeah, if you take their name and put in "I Want to Take You for a Ride," it's the main.
That's the one.
It's the character select screen for Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Now, did they just do a rendition of it, or did they do the okay?
They just rendition.
I didn't think they did the original.
No. Yeah.
It's a great little track. It's fun, and it was really. I had not heard it before, and I will absolutely be paying attention to this band.
Yeah.
Really good. It's got like another minute and a half to go, but really good track there. That is the 8-bit big band, right?
Yep.
Yes. And the Super Mario Praise Break. So if you're looking for that, that's where it is. Grammy Award-winning song there. And like I said, our YouTube's going to get flagged and be like, copyright, you can't use that. And so I'm sorry to other countries where you will not be able to hear this show because of that on YouTube.
Let's see. 8-bit big band. Origin, New York City. Genres jazz for video game music. Active from 2017 to now. Let's see. Led by Charlie Rosen. Of course, the website, the8bitbigband.com.
It's interesting that they've been around for as long as they have, and they've actually won some awards. And it took a Mario cover for... I say it took a Mario cover. I think mostly it took them winning the Grammys, being nominated against some other big names there, and pulling out the win for them to kind of get that recognition.
Yep.
But yeah,
yes, since they've released 5 albums according to their discography. Press Start in 2018. Choose Your Character in 2019. Backwards Compatible in 2021, Game Changer in 2023, and like I said before, Orchestrator Emulator in 2025.
It's a great name for an album, by the way. It just says, you keep working at it. You never know when that break's going to hit.
Yeah.
And you just keep doing it because you love it. Nobody's doing this. I say it, but I don't think anybody becomes a musician to make money. If they do, great. But they become that, in a sense, nobody becomes an artist of any sorts to make money. They become the artist because they're passionate about the art they create. Music, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason. Let's see, what do we got? We got about 10 minutes here before the end of the show. We got kind of a window here. I don't want to say a window. An idea of perhaps when we will get the next Xbox. Microsoft is reportedly aiming for this comes from PC Gamer, by the way. Microsoft is reportedly aiming for a 2027 launch for its next-gen Xbox, with AMD, once again, producing a semi-custom chip to power it. In the earnings call for AMD, the CEO, who, by the way, is the sister of NVIDIA's CEO. That whole family. Can you imagine the worth, the whole net worth of that whole family? NVIDIA, by the way, is just massive. Stock price, everything else that they've been doing, it's huge. Just gigantic. As it should be when you're selling graphics cards for $5,000.
Yeah.
Your top-of-the-line graphics card, $5,000. And then his sister is the CEO of the competition of the company. So strange, but yeah. Anyway, she told analysts and investors at a earnings call that it is already well into development of the future Xbox consoles, noting the launch window in no uncertain terms. Development of Microsoft's next-gen Xbox featuring AMD semi-custom SoC is progressing well to support a launch in 2027. AMD has been doing the Microsoft stuff now for its Xbox hardware for quite a while. It's been responsible for every Xbox console since the Xbox One, including the Xbox Ally and the handhelds that they just released. Sarah Bond, the president of Microsoft, had previously confirmed that the next-gen Xbox would be targeting the high-end market. In an interview with Mashable, Bond said it would be a very premium, very high-end, curated experience. That suggests that AMD will be bringing a powerful chip to the fore for the console. As we tend to see with console launches, they are announced with as yet unreleased hardware, but by the time they're released, PC hardware has already caught up or is not very far off. Usually by the time that a console releases, your PC has parts out there that are matching it or better. And will continue to do that. You know what I'm saying? It'll continue to progress in the PC market while your console stays in that time frame that it was released. You know, which is, I'm not bashing console owners or anything like that. Absolutely, for what it is, and especially for what you can do right now, console's a good way to go. We know that AMD plans to release its next-gen Ryzen processors using the Zen 6 architecture later this year. That'll be followed by Zen 7, which is confirmed but does not yet have a release window. It seems likely that Zen 7 will land just in time for Microsoft's suggested launch. In terms of graphics, we're not expecting much improvement in terms of a new GPU generation from AMD this year. The RDNA 5 potentially landing in 2027. That appears likely to make its way into both the next-gen Xbox and the next-gen PlayStation. Sony has been heavily involved in the development of semi-custom processors used in its consoles in the past. The Navi architecture, which later became RDNA, was reportedly heavily influenced by Sony, and the two companies already outlined their plans for the PlayStation 6. Both Sony and Xbox use the same Zen 2 RDNA 2 architectures in their existing console lineup. Big question here will be whether the release windows shift as the memory crisis continues, or, let's hope not, deepens. Both Xbox and PlayStation increased the price of their existing consoles at the tail end of last year, and before we really saw prices skyrocket for memory. That was before the memory prices went up. It's likely to see increases of those same consoles this year as well. I'm not reading from the article. I'm just telling you likely what's going to be happening. There is hope that some new capacity and newly struck deals may alleviate some of the short supply seeing prices soar. However, AI appears top of the food chain and will likely gobble up all it can get. So, yeah. I was skipping, right now it's AM5, I guess, is currently the one, or the Zen 5 is currently what's out. I'm on a Zen 4, and I got the last processor that they made for the Zen 4. I started in Zen 4, and then I upgraded my processor to the last that they built for the Zen 4 architecture.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at right now, and that's where I'm going to stay because the price is too much. If I were to upgrade right now, and I've said this before in the show, if I were to upgrade my CPU right now, I would have to upgrade my motherboard, which means I would also have to upgrade my RAM. That ain't happening.
Yeah.
RAM is not getting upgraded. I cannot use the RAM that is currently in my motherboard because that motherboard is built for the Zen 4 architecture. Yes. Yeah. So yeah. I am stuck.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've run into that problem many times. If I get a new processor, I've got to get another board. Yeah.
That's currently where I sit, is that if I upgrade anything in my chain right now to something new outside of a graphics card or a power supply, I got to do everything else. I got to upgrade everything.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm trying to think of the components that you can just improve by itself. I mean, a lot of times, like we just said, you can't improve this without doing this.
Storage space, power supply, graphics card.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what you can update independently. If you're on a certain architecture for your CPU, be it Intel or AMD, you can possibly upgrade your RAM to more, not necessarily moving it into DDR6 or something like that, but just upgrading the capacity, going from an 8 gig to 32 gig to 64 gig, something like that within the realm. You can do. It's pricey AF right now, but you can do that. Motherboard's the same thing. You can upgrade within the realm, but if you're going outside of that, everything else has to be upgraded. Also, the other thing you can upgrade is your cooling. If you want to talk about that, you know, your AIO water cool thing. If you're doing that, it's fine. But yeah, for me, I was skipping Zen 5 and going to go with Zen 6 when they release that later this year. But even with memory prices the way they are, it's unlikely that I'll do that. Yeah. So we'll just have to wait and see. So there's some other stuff in here talking about the sales of the Nintendo Switch 2, which their sales were the Nintendo net sales were up 99.3%. The Switch 2 shifted 17.37 million units, by the way. The PS5, however, outsold Switch 2 during the stronger than expected holiday sales season for Sony. That's pretty interesting because Switch 2, I figured, was going to be the hot commodity. You know what I'm saying? It's brand new. It's Nintendo. But
what moves consoles?
I would say at this point, I would say price, but I don't know. And I don't know.
I'd still say games, bigger library.
True.
Yeah, I mean, you can have. I've said before, you can have the most powerful console in the world, but if you ain't got the library for it, then what's the point?
Yeah, no. I think you're right on that because the Nintendo Switch 2's library is kind of lacking. Mm-hmm. It's growing.
I mean, yeah, if you like Nintendo's titles and have at it, go ahead.
You have to, you really got to be specific on enjoying those titles.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for us, folks. We are done. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your weekend and a good week ahead. We're going to be here next weekend doing it. Week after next, though, we will be off. But next weekend, we will be here. The Valentine's Day edition of the show. Mm-hmm. But we'll be here for that as well. I'm going to leave you here with a track from a game called Blade of Redemption. I don't have a track name. I just know that's the game's name, Blade of Redemption. Have a fantastic week. Thank you once again for joining us, and we will see you next Saturday.
Thank you.